So the next presenter will be Sezibera. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. She'll be talking about farmers' organizations, social and economic force in the context of chronic instability. I think she's will be giving us experience from Burundi, and she comes from this Confederation of Agricultural Producer Associations for Development. Anik. She'll be speaking in French.
Merci pour la parole.
Thank you for giving me the floor. I'll be sharing the experience of my organization, CAPAD. As was just said, is an organization of agricultural producers which we created in a context of civil war in Burundi. That's the war in 1993. And because of that, a lot of the populations had to move within the country, outside of the country. There were many displaced people, and therefore they lost access to the factors of production and access to land. Most of them were women, most of the displaced persons were widows and orphans who were to take care of children. I was one of them, and we all wanted to have access to the land so that we can feed and supply our various families. Well, my situation was more complicated. I was still going to secondary school. I had to take care of 5 children, and all I had was emergency aid, or to go back to the hills and plant food, or maybe look for other options as a woman. So there were some NGOs who believed in us and who supported us in building up these organizations, and they supported the CAPAD initiative because we wanted to relaunch agricultural activities so that the displaced people could go back to the land without fear of being killed and prepare the land. They weren't going back to the land for revenge. They just wanted to go back so that everyone could live together. So the first things we did was to have discussions, draw lessons from the ethnic war, assess the impact on agriculture, farmers, how to manage this type of conflict, how to avoid it, and how to live together in peace. And gradually we started cultivating the fields. Confidence was built, and when we started CAPAD in 2000, there were 25 of us. Today, it's a confederation which brings together 117,000 agricultural households. Many of them are just small holdings with just 1 hectare of land to work on. And the actions of the activities of CAPAD today are directed, first of all, to the improvement and diversification of production. And as I said, most of the members of our confederation are small farmers who indulge in subsistence farming mainly, and who have the main challenge of feeding their families. You've seen in the batch of documents that Burundi has a very high level of malnutrition, particularly for children under 5 years old, and that's because most of the families working in the countryside have problems of access to land or problems of access to means of production like seeds or funds or just support for basic health care and education. So CAPAD is trying to work with its partners and contribute to deal with this challenge so that our members can produce and, where possible, get a surplus. So we had to offer seeds. We had to produce seeds for farmers. We had to help them access fundings so that they can deal with shock situations, and then access to credit for those who were able to access credits, but we also developed systems of access through a caution system, mutual support, and in that way there was access to credit for the poorest families. And gradually, for some families, they got a surplus, a production surplus, and they had to see how they can take best advantage of the value added. So we talked about, we looked at various strategies. We would do group marketing. We had a group marketing system, and we tried to see how we can add more value and have competitive products on the markets. And we had a small fund, and we invested it in industrial equipment, which allowed us to take best advantage of the incomes of the farmers. So we sell as collectives, and we even at one point had an access to P4P market and the domestic market of the main suppliers. But we did have some difficulties now and then, because very often small farmers don't have the means to wait for 3 months until they're paid. Sometimes we realize that certain markets are good for comfortable farmers, but for the poorer farmers it's difficult. So after 18 years of existence, one of the major successes of CAPAD was to contribute to a return to peace through social cohesion, which was built on the basis of mutual interest, namely restore agricultural production, and also the construction of a strong farmers' organization in Burundi. Before the war, the organizations which existed were human rights organizations. It came up in 1992 when there was a multi-party system. There were no real rural organizations. In the 70s, we had state agricultural cooperatives, and this happened in other African countries. And it left a bitter taste in the mouths of the farmers. No one wanted to join this type of association anymore. So we had to start from scratch. We used community leaders to convince people. We also worked with women who are the majority in the organization. They played a very instrumental role in convincing people. Another major success is the improvement of production yields. It's a 50% increase from 2000 to 2014. We also created a lot of jobs, temporary and permanent jobs. We have a problem with statistics, so we don't actually know how many permanent jobs we've been able to create. But we also contributed to the socio-economic development of youth and women and young men who were returnees, not from the interior, but from outside. Most of them were former soldiers, and they wanted to go back to agriculture, and it was at the request of UNDP. And those are some of the major success stories that we have. Now, what were the factors of success? I would like to say that the first factor of success was because there was a failed state. It would failed in the agricultural sector. They had a pyramid system telling people what they had to grow, and overnight there was no state anymore. There was a vacuum created. So CAPAD and cooperative groupings came to fill that vacuum, fill the economic and social vacuum. But from the start, we decided to be neutral in politics. There were many organizations which were created, and they were easily and quickly manipulated, and we resisted that shock because we decided on neutrality from the start, and when there was the crisis in 2015, most of the civil society organizations working on human rights, the government expelled them from Burundi. They weren't able to operate. So we were members of a major forum of the civil society organization, but we were able to survive because we were neutral and we maintained that neutrality. Another factor of success is this dialogue that we installed, a regular dialogue to discuss conflicts, whether it be conflicts over land or security issues. We've put a dialogue in place, and that allows us to anticipate and develop strategies in this changing environment, whether it relates to security or economics or the social aspect. So quite quickly, I've already mentioned opportunities, but there's another opportunity, and that is the support we got from the NGOs, who placed trust in us, who helped us build our capacities. And here I would like to thank AgriTerra. They're here in the room today, the EU, of course, and the CTA, who've placed some trust in us and supported our programs, and they allowed us to work in a sustainable way, because most of the projects were just ad hoc projects, and which were not sustainable. So CAPAD did not only stay in isolation, we developed partnerships with other organizations which allowed us to work at the national level to create an enabling environment. They put legislation and policies which support agriculture. You need a little crisis like the one we had in 2015 for things to just go backwards. So we are always on the alert, and we are trying to anticipate and propose strategies. One of the strategies, and this is where I will conclude, one of the strategies we developed was informal and formal advocacy, fundraising. We keep in touch with the political sector. In spite of the fragility of the government, we realize that government can play an important role, so we try to maintain that contact while still guarding our neutrality, so we try to develop confidence and prudence. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Anik, for a fascinating presentation, really basing from your own life experience and how you transformed a very challenging situation into something very promising and hopeful. And I think through your presentation we have seen how really getting organized, especially as a women group and also as a farmers organization, can make a difference, not only in terms of improving productivity, access to market, but also influencing policy at the national level. So I think it's an excellent example to hear from somebody who really has been through this process. So thank you for that.